This documentary presents a complete and continuous history of every major Soviet and Russian tank design. It covers experimental concepts, mass-produced vehicles, and transitional platforms that shaped armored doctrine. The timeline begins before the Soviet Union existed and ends with modern Russian service and future-oriented designs. Each entry explains why the vehicle was developed, what advantage it offered, and why it succeeded or failed. Imperial Russia's first armored experiment was the Vzdychod, developed to solve mobility issues on rough terrain. Its single wide track was intended to cross obstacles wheeled vehicles could not. Insufficient power and immature technology prevented practical use. Next came the Tsar tank, designed to defeat trenches using enormous front wheels. The concept prioritized obstacle clearance over stability. Poor weight balance caused immediate immobilization during trials. The Mendeleev tank followed as a heavily armored breakthrough concept. It aimed to combine naval-grade armor and firepower on land. Extreme weight made movement and logistics impossible. After the revolution, the Ruski Renault was produced to establish domestic tank manufacturing. It provided industrial experience through direct copying of a proven design. It offered no technological improvement and was quickly outdated. The T-14 MS-1 was developed as the first standardized Soviet tank. It served as a training and light combat vehicle. Limited armor and firepower restricted long-term usefulness. The T-12 was an early attempt at a true medium tank. It aimed to improve firepower and crew layout. Mechanical unreliability halted development. The improved T-24 followed with better armament distribution. It addressed firepower but not production complexity. Only small numbers were built. The T-26 tankette was introduced for reconnaissance and infantry support. Its small size allowed mass production at low cost. Lack of armor and a turret severely limited combat value. The T-26 was developed to modernize Soviet light armor units. It provided reliable firepower and ease of production. Thin armor became a critical weakness by the late 1930s. The BT-3 addressed the need for speed and deep maneuver warfare. Its Christie suspension allowed exceptional mobility. Light armor made it vulnerable in combat. The BT-5 improved the fast tank concept with stronger armament. It solved firepower limitations of earlier BT models. Protection remained insufficient. The T-37A introduced amphibious capability to Soviet forces. It allowed reconnaissance across rivers and wetlands. Armor protection was minimal. The T-28 medium tank was designed for infantry breakthrough support. Multiple turrets provided wide fire coverage. Command complexity reduced effectiveness. The T-35 expanded the multi-turret idea to a heavy platform. It demonstrated industrial capability and firepower density. Mechanical fragility and slow speed limited usefulness. The T-29 attempted to merge speed and heavy firepower. It explored a universal tank concept. Design complexity prevented mass production. The BT-37 refined the fast tank design with improved engines and armor slope. It provided better survivability than earlier BTs, still vulnerable to modern anti-tank weapons. The T-46 was developed to replace the aging T-26. It aimed to improve speed and suspension performance. High cost and limited improvement led to rejection. The T-38 improved amphibious stability over earlier designs. It supported reconnaissance and river crossings. Paper-thin armor limited combat use. The SMK heavy tank tested multi-turret survivability. It aimed to replace earlier heavy tanks. Combat trials proved single-turret designs superior. The T-100 reinforced lessons learned from SMK testing. It offered strong armor and firepower. Excessive size and complexity ended development. The T-40 was developed as an improved amphibious scout tank. It offered better protection and handling. Wartime shortages forced it into unsuitable combat roles. The KV-1 was designed to counter anti-tank guns with heavy armor. It provided unprecedented battlefield protection early in the war. Mobility and maintenance issues reduced long-term effectiveness. The T-30 simplified T-40 production for emergency conditions. It allowed faster manufacturing during factory evacuations. Combat performance remained limited.
The T-34 was developed to balance armor, firepower, and mobility. Sloped armor and wide tracks improved survivability. Early production quality varied. The KV-2 provided heavy firepower for bunker destruction. Its large gun solved fortification problems. High profile and slow reload reduced flexibility. The T-150 tested increased armor on the KV platform. It explored protection limits. Performance penalties outweighed benefits. The KV-120 extended the KV concept with heavier armament. It aimed at breakthrough operations. Weight made it impractical. The T-50 attempted to modernize the light tank role. It offered advanced armor layout and crew design. High production cost limited numbers. The T-64 filled the need for rapid armored output. It used automotive components for speed of production. Light armament restricted combat effectiveness. The KV-8 introduced flamethrowers for bunker clearance. It addressed fortified infantry threats. Short range increased vulnerability. The T-34-57 was designed to counter heavy enemy armor. Its high-velocity gun improved penetration. Limited versatility reduced adoption. The KV-13 explored a universal tank combining armor and mobility. Research influenced later heavy tank designs. The vehicle itself was not adopted. The T-70 replaced earlier light tanks with improved reliability. It supported reconnaissance units and infantry. Two-man crew reduced efficiency. The T-43 aimed to improve protection over the T-34. It solved survivability concerns. Upgrading the T-34 proved more efficient. The light tank T-80 introduced a two-man turret. It improved crew workload management. Late introduction limited impact. The IS-1 replaced KV tanks as heavy armor. It was designed to counter new German tanks. Rapid development led to quick replacement. The IS-2 focused on maximum breakthrough firepower. Its 122mm gun destroyed armor and fortifications. Slow reload limited sustained fire. The IS-6 tested electric transmission systems. It explored future propulsion concepts. Reliability issues ended the program. The T-44 redesigned internal layout for a lower profile. It improved crew protection and balance. It arrived too late for wartime use. The IS-3 introduced advanced armor shaping. It improved ballistic protection. Structural issues limited service life. The IS-4 emphasized extreme survivability. Armor protection was exceptional. Excessive weight restricted deployment. The T-54 established the post-war medium tank standard. It combined firepower, protection, and reliability. Early versions required refinement. The IS-7 pushed heavy tank design to its limits. It offered unmatched armor and firepower. Logistics constraints ended development. The K-90 refined amphibious light tank concepts. It enabled river crossings and amphibious assaults. Light armor limited survivability. The PT-76 standardized amphibious armored operations. It enabled river crossings and amphibious assaults. Light armor limited survivability.
The Object 416 focused on a low battlefield profile. It reduced target exposure. Crew ergonomics proved problematic. The T-10 became the final Soviet heavy tank. It supported medium tank units. Doctrinal changes ended heavy tank development. The Object 140 explored advanced medium tank technology. It aimed to surpass existing designs. Complexity reduced reliability. The T-55 added NBC protection to an established platform. It became one of the most widely used tanks globally. Growth potential was limited. The Object 430 focused on compact tank design. It influenced next-generation platforms. It was not mass-produced. The Object 277 modernized heavy tanks for nuclear warfare. It offered high power and protection. Missile threats made the concept obsolete. The Object 279 explored nuclear blast survivability. Its four-track design improved terrain crossing. Complexity prevented adoption. The Object 770 improved crew comfort and handling. It represented a modern heavy tank concept. The class was discontinued. The Object 906 enhanced amphibious firepower. It influenced airborne vehicle design. It remained experimental. The T-62 introduced smoothbore gun technology. It improved armor penetration. Fire control systems were limited. The Object 167 upgraded mobility and suspension. It tested improvements to the T-62. Strategic focus shifted away. The T-64 introduced composite armor and autoloaders. It reduced crew size and increased firepower. Maintenance complexity was high. The Object 287 explored missile-only armament. It tested guided weapon potential. Lack of a gun reduced flexibility. The T-64A standardized the 125mm gun. It set Cold War lethality standards. Technical demands remained high. The IT-1 specialized in missile combat. It enabled long-range engagements, limited tactical versatility. The Object 219 tested gas turbine propulsion. It improved acceleration and cold weather performance. Fuel consumption was high. The T-72 emphasized reliability and mass production. It simplified logistics and maintenance. Fire control systems were less advanced. The Object 685 explored airborne armored firepower. It influenced later designs. It was not produced. The Object 934 refined air-deployable armor concepts. It improved speed and deployment. Protection remained limited. The T-80 emphasized speed and rapid maneuver. Gas turbines improved acceleration. Operational costs increased. The Object 477 explored unmanned turret concepts. It aimed to improve crew survivability. Development ended after the Cold War. The Object 490 tested extreme crew protection layouts. It prioritized survivability over conventional design. Unconventional layout prevented adoption. The Object 187 pushed T-72 upgrades to the limit. It demonstrated modernization potential. It was not selected. The Object 292 tested a 15-centimeter gun on an MBT. It explored future firepower options. Practical limits halted development. The Object 299 proposed a universal heavy platform. It aimed to unify armored vehicle families. Economic conditions ended the project. The T-90 combined proven hulls with modern systems. It improved protection and electronics. Legacy architecture limited expansion. The Object 640 Black Eagle separated ammunition from the crew. It improved survivability concepts. It never entered production. The Object 195 T-95 explored unmanned turrets and heavy guns. It influenced future platforms. Cost and complexity ended the program. The T-95A modernized sensors and protection. It extended service life. Changes were incremental. The Tu-S225 Sprute SD provided airborne anti-tank firepower. It combined mobility and firepower. Light armor limited survivability. The T-14 Armata introduced a crew capsule and unmanned turret. It redefined modern Russian tank design. Production scale remains limited. The T-90M represents the most advanced operational Russian tank. It improves armor, sensors, and fire control. It remains based on earlier layouts. The Tu-S225M Sprute SDM-1 modernized airborne firepower. It improved mobility and targeting systems. Protection constraints remain.